Azzat.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope everyone had a good lunch. Get yourself a coffee. I promise I'll not bore you with my presentation. So my name is Azzat. I'm a Chief Marketing Officer of paygine. My topic today is cryptocurrency community and paygine. Who's paygine, who we are, and what we do. So if you look at on the macro perspective, the total market capitalization of all the cryptocurrencies, the whole pie, is over $600 billion. That's a large number. But if you look at the velocity, the speed of the transaction of the one cryptocurrency monetary unit, which being exchanged from one hand to another, represent less than 2%. Why? Because we don't have a full regulatory perspective. We don't have a rules. And the second biggest challenge, the banks, the classical financial institutions. Used to be work for the bank. They don't process, they don't work with the fintech and cryptocurrency businesses. So they're reluctant to process the payments. So how we solve this problem, obviously, it's a big obstacle for the cryptocurrency community to work. And even today's the White House announcement on the cryptocurrency that SEC took the stand that they need more time to measure all of the risk to understand more the blockchain technology in order to concrete the framework from the legal perspective. Basically, right now, regulators, the banks are taking passive position. So paygine obviously is not trying to solve the global problem, but paygine is trying to help businesses that work with the cryptocurrency, the blockchain. So who's the paygine? Paygine is the open financial platform designed to operate within its own banking network to serve fintech businesses and blockchain, e-commerce, cryptocurrency on the day-to-day operations. For example, remittance, transfer, exchange, AML, KYC. So basically it's a one-stop shop under the white label solution. So we're not a startup. We're not the guys who spent money on designing beautiful white paper. Our mother company is a $100 million company that processes acquiring services in Europe. So we do $100 million transactions a month. We work with IKEA, we work with BMW, we work with Burger King. So we want to leverage of our current platform that is designed to process on the classical payments and focus on cryptocurrency. So the main point of the paygine tries to get one-stop shop processing, partnering with the banks. So we do full KML, AML, KYC procedure for the clients. We open up an account with our bank network. We do cross-border transactions from one country to another within seconds. We do 250 transactions per second. It's faster than the blockchain technology in terms of the remittance. So we use our mother's company's engine to facilitate all of the transactions. So for example, if Airbnb decides to accept the Bitcoins as a form of payment, and if say client from China wants to pay a client in the US through our system, the Airbnb will be able to facilitate that transaction. However, the Airbnb's clients would never see us. That's why the retail site would never be able to know that the paygine will process all of the transactions on the back end. So that's businesses love us for the white label solution model. So that's just to give perspective how we want to roll out. Obviously, we're the platform. We have direct relationship with Visa and MasterCard, but cannot really solicit on our ICO. But once we finalize, we want to acquire our own bank in Europe to facilitate the fiat, the depository services. So we provide full AML procedures that are control our own system. We secure data on our data management system that's being approved by Visa and MasterCard. We work with approximately 20 plus banks in Europe, in Eastern Europe, and we take full responsibility on the invoicing, on the Star Ledger, on the cross. So if you are online merchant, if you process the Bitcoin, Ethereum, we provide you full one-stop services. So you don't have to worry about opening up electronic wallet, hiring another to process the KYC. So through our open IPS system, we will integrate through your application. Bingo, that's it. All you have to worry about getting the clients. We will do your back end 24/7. And so that just gives a perspective. That's just how we want to roll out. So this is, if you look, our organization chart. This is from our main system, how we share ledger among the different players that is important to process any monetary unit, any currency, including now would be cryptocurrency. So obviously, once we complete the ICO, we would like to acquire one bank in Europe and one bank in Caribbean to facilitate cross-border transactions. So we would work with Visa and MasterCard through our own bank, but every transaction will be done through our paygine DLT shared ledger, and we will be connected with all the merchants, with all the fintech and the blockchain companies that would do the blockchain. So we back office work in terms of for any online merchant that want to process, accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrency. So who will benefit from this? And obviously it's a peer-to-peer platform and aggregators, Airbnb, potentially WeWork, aggregators that would work directly with the retail customers. So our main focus to work with the businesses, not the retailers. So money transfer services, including international transfer, any electronic merchants, any providers for e-wallet and crypto wallets. There are a lot of startups that design the very fancy, sophisticated electronic wallets. But the problem is they cannot process KYC. They have to hire another vendor. They have to hire another facilitator to make. We have one-stop solution under our own platform. Then we actually, there's going to be another new component. We'll work with insurance companies because we have store a lot of data on the person, how frequent they make the transaction. And the banks love that data so they can lend through insurance companies based on obviously the credit, how they pay, how they accept the payments. And this is just give one perspective how we have been working through our main engine, through our main platform under the white label solution. It's pretty much all the services that will be facilitated on a paygine platform that will be designed specifically to process the cryptocurrency. And the next step would be to launch our pilot system. We have been working. The next year we're going to be rolling out the first stage of the system. We already know we have been successful in terms of processing the remittance amount. And the next one is going to be integrating other banks, the bank network in our system and other online merchants. So those are like 5 key services on the back end that any merchant, online merchant that wants to accept the Bitcoin, Ethereum would need. It's acquiring bank. Its ability to accept the fiat money, convert into blockchain, into Ethereum or Bitcoin or vice versa. Account maintenance, they need a ledger, they need the invoicing, they need the transaction, and we do in a real time. So anyone can be able to see all the transaction activity. Invoicing and KYC AML, we'll verify investor, we'll verify and make sure that investor's jurisdiction, address, the information, and then provide the full report to that merchant. And obviously electronic wallet will open up electronic e-wallet for our client and also an account at our bank, and they will be segregated. They will be able to transact vice versa in real time within a day. So let's say if you want to send the money from China to the US, obviously now China is a little strict on the cryptocurrency, but let's take Switzerland or other friendly jurisdiction. We can facilitate within the hour, the max. So that's just our how we have been operating. We obviously have been very successful in Europe and in Eastern Europe. We have been working with Lexus Financial Services, with BMW, with IKEA, with Burger King Global. So we know how the large merchant players work. And we have been working with the small and mid-sized banks in terms of the merchant services, and in terms of like money remittance, how we make the payment, facilitate the payment. So the next step is obviously the paygine will be focusing on the US market, specifically on serving the fintech and the blockchain companies. And obviously the third, we're gonna go into Southeast Asia. We already have a few partners, the bank partners that we could work together, and obviously expanding in the Asian market. So we want to obviously scale in 3 different markets. So why us? It's an experienced team that knows how to launch and grow international transactional banking businesses. Our businesses has been validated. We're not startup. We're not new. We're not trying to pilot something new. We're going to leverage off our current platform. Number 2, its platform technology are based of the running transaction businesses best to pay. It holds leading position in peer-to-peer transfer in the Russian market. We're number 2 processing company in Russia. Number of projects where to successfully implement the technology with international payment schemes. We work with large companies like BMW, Lexus Financials, IKEA, Burger King, etc. We have 7 years of experience in providing the white label payment solution. So white label is our driver. Merchants, businesses love our model because retail side, they don't see us. We're on the back end. So we work only with the businesses. So at the end, I want to show a quick video, just get your quick summary of the business model. I'm sorry? Yes. Right now only, but we're going to be expanded into different cryptocurrencies. Just whatever the liquid one.
Cryptocurrency is rapidly gaining popularity, and its global market cap already breached $300 billion. This is the money that any business could use. The cryptocurrency market is experiencing many difficulties, and there are major obstacles to free circulation of these currencies. Traditional banking system is not ready to keep pace with the times. Opening an account with a bank for crypto business either takes enormous amount of time and very difficult, or culminates in an eventual refusal. Even if the account is eventually opened, it can still be subsequently blocked, because banks are cautious to avoid penalties and possible revocation of its license. So they often block accounts related to such operations in order to protect themselves. Banks' IT infrastructure also not ready to serve the cryptocurrency. None of the projects related to the cryptocurrency today solve these problems with banks. We are ready to provide solution. American company paygine is going to own several banks around the world and utilize proprietary technology that is already used to provide innovative financial services. So it will no longer be necessary to negotiate with banks or wait till they improve IT infrastructure. Paygine Financial Platform clearly knows the needs of the cryptocurrency market and is ready to provide these services quickly and efficiently. None of the accounts will not be blocked unless the laws are violated. All of our services are based on the principles of the Open API and White Label. We use a ready-made solution based on the English company PayEngine. White Label means that customers of our customers will receive an excellent service that will work under our partner's own brand. Our API provides a wide range of services and helps businesses create a variety of products. Paygine, a new round of evolution of the global banking system. Participate in ICO on paygine.com.
Any questions, you can actually visit paygine.com. Obviously, I cannot speak on any ICO because we cannot solicit right now. We're in the process of pre-ICO, but any information can be found at www.paygine.com. Oh. No? You know what? I'll try to speak louder. I think it's the best way when you actually speak from your natural voice. So right now we cannot comment. I cannot solicit anything on the pre-ICO on the ICO, but any information can be found at www.paygine.com. We have a lot of materials, presentation, any technical information on the tokens, how our tokens can be utilized in our platform. So everything can be found at our website. So if you guys have any questions.
Is the bank that you are going to be buying the bank, obviously, is
Yes.
it here in the U.S. or?
There'll be
in
two
Europe?
banks, one in the Europe and one in the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
So you talked about like the cryptos that are liquid.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Liquid, so right now at this stage, we're going to be accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then Wave, that could be possible, the blockchain.
What is
Liquid is basically the value of the let's say liquidity. Liquidity means how big at the exchange, how much they trade, and what's the value of that cryptocurrency. So, for example, the Bitcoin's worth now is over like 100 billion, and the people is number one currency. Ethereum is a little bit less. So that's just based on the demand of our clients. So just the value based on the value, how much the cryptocurrency is being traded for at the exchange.
Do you provide services to small and medium-sized businesses?
Yes, that's our primarily clients. So for the paygine on the cryptocurrencies, it's small online merchants, mid-sized fintech companies that they need all the back-end support.
The processing time from when a small business accepts the payment, how long it takes to process it?
Cross-border or just within the country?
No, within the country.
Within the country, literally a couple seconds. So best to pay our mother company, we do 250 transactions per second right now. So we're very comfortable that we can process one transaction in a couple seconds.
And you do that using crypto?
Right now we're designing the platform that's going to be focused on the
But
crypto.
the processing that you are doing now is just local currency.
It's a local currency. It's a USD, euros, and different currencies, and the kind of cross-border transactions.
Okay, what you're doing is you're adding the crypto.
Exactly. We're going to use our current platform, expand it, and focusing on the cryptocurrency. Yeah. And acquire two banks, because we still need bank to process exchange.
Sure. And is there any commitment on any banks at this point?
Well, I cannot comment on that. We're doing negotiation. We can let's say, but after the ICO, we're gonna heavily, actively pursue that two transactions.
So currently, the processing of crypto is only on beta. You don't process crypto right now. It's only beta.
It's a beta, yes. We tested. It was successful. So in order for us to market heavily, we need to have a financial institution. We need to have a money transmitter license. We need to have a bank. So all the proceeds from the ICO will be employed towards the acquisition of the banks, licenses, etc.
So your experience, you were talking about BMW, Lexus, and Kia. This is the fiat.
That's a fiat currency. That's correct. Yes.
And are you planning like to use your platform to use it as a payment method, as a gateway payment method for other services?
So our main services is remittance. It's a cross-border payments. It's a AML KYC. It's an exchange between the fiat and any other cryptocurrency, for example, Bitcoin. It's the full cash management, or I'll say cash management, cryptocurrency management system. It's the full ledger. It's electronic invoicing. So all the back end, wherever you need as an online merchant to facilitate your day-to-day operations, we handle that on the back end.
Would the merchant be able to process accepting crypto as fast as the fiat?
That's we have our brain behind the Kirill. That's probably a question to him. How comfortable are we going to be when we're going to roll out our platform processing the cryptocurrency as fast as we do with our current fiat system, the fiat money? In the cryptocurrencies, yeah. So we test it right now on the beta. So in terms of the speed, we're comfortable. Yeah, the speed, we're comfortable. So right now on the fiat money, we process 250 transactions per second. We have 7 different servers in UK, large, and then we have an engine behind. So we're confident. We already piloted, but obviously once we roll out our platform, that's we're going to be.
My question, if you have
Mhm.
processing crypto,
Yes.
Bitcoin or Ethereum, and how fast can that be processed?
In the one
Within a transaction?
when that transactions, it's if it's cross border, it's within 24 hours. If it's in the one country, right, it's within the say 10-15 seconds.
We settled between countries several times. Within 24 hours. It depends on value of transaction. We have a net settlement because the flow from one country to another country has been different, and we have a net settlement several times a day. It depends on flow.
So, for example, at here, they do 1 million transactions a day, and then
Yeah, fiat is
Fiat,
the
yeah.
MasterCard is not a problem. It just, my problem with crypto, if I send somebody else, a third party,
Mhm.
crypto payment, it takes at least 10 to 15 minutes
to receive.
at the other end. So that's the question, if there is any, if your technology or any, if you have processed that, and if you're telling me within 10, 15 seconds,
We piloted on the Bitcoin, and it took us no more than we basically piloted different batches, and all of the batches didn't go over more larger than 15 seconds. So on average, first batch we tested within the 5 seconds, the second 10. But it's an average within, let's say, 10, 15 seconds. But that's the testing. That's not the huge volume. But depending, as Kirill said, depending on the volume. So if we process 1 million transactions in the cryptocurrency, and obviously duration of the time will be expanded. And that's just a question within after 3 months once we launched ICO.
okay, the other question, I saw a graph where you had, when you had other banks, and Visa, MasterCard.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's one of on your presentation. Are you part of the transactions between that? You guys are in the middle.
Yes.
Is it,
For the fiat, yes.
for the fiat?
Yes.
Okay, and is that going to be the same?
Not quite. If not all banks would want to work with the cryptocurrency. Therefore, we will have our own 2 banks. But the model is going to be we're going to be in the middle between the merchant. This is the slide, right? You're saying.
No, go one more, I think, or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is the slide, right?
Yes.
So this is just focusing on the classical, on the current, the system, how it's going to design. But once we acquire 2 banks, we're still going to be in the middle. But obviously, we will still have to work with the Visa and MasterCard. We're going to be in the middle in order for our client, who's our client, is the online merchant, to be able to process conversion from, let's say, Bitcoin into Ethereum and then deposit the client's MasterCard through our system. And why? Because we have a direct relationship with Visa and MasterCard. We work with them on the crafting. The main obstacle for them to work is to have proper AML KYC procedure under the Visa and MasterCard processes. So, and we'll conduct all of the scoring KYC. So we're gonna share ledger information, and then we'll apply for the money transmittal license where we can operate in different states. And those two banks that we're gonna acquire, they will support on the depository and also on the custodian side.
But you're not gonna have
Could we add something to the
I'm sorry, I wasn't here.
Yeah, sorry.
What's the meaning fee for the customer, for the merchant?
For the merchant?
Is that going to reduce the fees? Is that going to, you're still working with Visa and MasterCard?
Very good question. Our aim is to reduce the current. So, for example, right now, if you're online merchant, if you want to accept a Bitcoin, you have to maintain a couple vendors, and your transaction cost could vary from 7 to 12%, right? So our aim is to reduce at least by half, and we know how, based on our current system, based on the current business model.
And in the case of fraudulent charges and fraudulent where the merchant is usually disregarded. If I have a fraudulent transaction on my website and the merchandise is shipped, the guy signs for it. He says he never received it, and MasterCard or Visa will always, 99.9%, vote in favor of the customer who committed the fraud. And I have proof, but I'm always out of pocket. How are you going to solve that problem?
Another good question. We'll have a full integration with the MasterCard's backend KYC with our KYC system. We know their backend kitchen. We know how Visa and MasterCard work under fraudulent activities. So we're going to use our mother company, Best to Pays, all the KYC, and then we have been dealing with the fraudulent activity on the fiat money. So we're going to adapt the same framework, and we're going to work together with them on the, obviously, processing. We cannot solve that problem by ourselves, so we will work with banks and MasterCard to with Visa to facilitate that.
How do you see the non-basic line? How do you see what information you get from the client?
So we have a open IP integration. So once we integrate with the online merchant, once let's say you as a John Smith go into the system, fill out the application on the real time, on the back end, we see all of that information. So our KYC ML department and the system start verifying on behalf of the online merchant.
Right. When you deploy cryptocurrencies, in 3 months, is there any regulatory compliance you need to follow? Or you need to apply?
In order for
Or if you said you were buying 2 banks.
2 banks, yes.
Then you need
Yes, right now we appointed 2 legal law firms to give us legal opinions, and obviously in Europe it's going to be a much easier process because we're already working in Europe. We know the jurisdiction, the local rules. We work in Luxembourg, we work in Russia, we work in Czechoslovakia, we work in Eastern European countries, so we're familiar with that. The one is going to be with the Caribbean. We're going to find that friendly jurisdiction towards the U.S. market, because that bone is going to be processing all of the U.S. transactions. So that's just something I think to comment for our legal counsel once we finalize the ICO, once we release our next course of action, next strategy. And everything is in the white paper.
Today we're